Hey everyone, welcome back. Seriously, wherever you are tuning in from right now, I hope you're feeling healthy, energized, and ready to explore something truly amazing about life on our planet. Sending you all my warmest wishes. Stay well, stay positive, and take good care. Okay, today we're diving into a concept that sounds fancy, but is actually one of the most fundamental, beautiful, and downright weird strategies life has ever invented: symbiosis. Ever seen a picture of a clownfish snuggled safely in a sea anemone's stinging tentacles? Or maybe wondered why you have trillions of bacteria living inside you right now? That's symbiosis in action. It literally means living together, and it's everywhere. Forget the idea of nature being just red in tooth and claw, constant competition, and eating each other. Symbiosis reveals a whole other side: intimate partnerships, strange roommates, and incredible collaborations that blur the lines between different organisms. Get ready to see how life isn't just about surviving alone, but often about thriving together in ways that will blow your mind. Let's unravel the secrets of these fascinating relationships. So, at its heart, symbiosis is a close, long-term interaction between two or more different biological species. Think of it like a very committed friendship, business partnership, or sometimes a very one-sided living arrangement, happening right inside or on the surface of another living thing. The key is that this relationship is ongoing and has a significant impact on the lives of the partners involved. It's not just a brief encounter, like a bee visiting a flower once for nectar. It's a sustained connection. These partnerships come in different flavors, depending on who benefits and who might be affected. The main types we talk about are mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism. But remember, nature isn't always neat and tidy. Some relationships can be a bit complex and might not fit perfectly into one box. We'll explore all of them so you can see how they work in the real world. Let's start with the feel-good story of symbiosis: mutualism. This is the win-win scenario. Both partners benefit significantly from the relationship. It's like the ultimate best friend team-up in nature. One classic, breathtaking example is coral reefs. You see those stunning, intricate structures? They're built by tiny animals called coral polyps. But here's the secret: most reef-building corals are pale, almost see-through on their own. Their vibrant colors and, more importantly, their ability to build those massive reefs comes from millions of microscopic algae called zooxanthellae living right inside the polyp's tissues. The algae are safe inside the coral, sheltered and getting access to nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus from the polyp's waste. In return, using sunlight, photosynthesis, the algae produce sugars and oxygen, loads of it. They share this bounty generously with their coral host, providing up to 90% of the coral's energy needs. This free food boost is what gives the coral polyps the extra energy to extract calcium carbonate from seawater and build their hard skeletons, creating the reef foundation. Without the algae, the coral would struggle to survive and couldn't build reefs. Without the coral, the algae wouldn't have their protected home and steady nutrient supply. They absolutely need each other. It's a perfect mutualistic partnership powering entire underwater cities. Another incredible mutualism, one that literally feeds the world, happens between plants and certain fungi. Most plants you see, trees, grasses, crops, have a hidden network beneath the soil. Their roots aren't just sucking up water and minerals alone. They're often intricately woven together with the thread-like filaments, hyphae, of fungi. This partnership forms structures called mycorrhizae, meaning fungus root. The fungal network acts like a supercharged extension of the plant's own root system. It explores far more soil volume than the roots could alone, soaking up water and vital nutrients like phosphorus and nitrogen, which it then delivers directly to the plant roots. What does the fungus get out of it? The plant pays its fungal partner in sugar. Plants make sugars through photosynthesis, and they share a significant portion of this energy-rich food with the fungus. It's a trade, minerals and water for sugar. This partnership is ancient and incredibly common. Around 80% of land plants depend on mycorrhizal fungi to thrive, especially in poor soils. Without these fungal allies, many plants would struggle to get enough nutrients, forests wouldn't be as lush, and our crops would be far less productive. It's a silent, underground mutualism essential for life on land. Now, let's talk about a partnership you carry with you every single day, your gut microbiome. Your digestive system, especially your intestines, is home to trillions upon trillions of bacteria and some other microbes too. This isn't an invasion. It's a lifelong, mutually beneficial symbiosis. These friendly bacteria help you in countless ways. They break down complex carbohydrates in your food that your own body can't digest, turning them into useful nutrients and short-chain fatty acids that your gut cells can absorb for energy. They help synthesize essential vitamins like vitamin K and some B vitamins. They train your immune system, teaching it what's harmful and what's friendly, helping to keep it balanced and prevent overreactions like allergies or autoimmune diseases. They even crowd out harmful bacteria, preventing them from taking hold and making you sick. In return, you provide them with a warm, stable, nutrient-rich environment, basically a 5-star hotel with an all-you-can-eat buffet. Your body constantly supplies them with food from what you eat and a safe place to live and multiply. This gut ecosystem is crucial for your health. Disrupting it, like with heavy antibiotics or a poor diet, can lead to digestive problems and even affect your mood and overall well-being. You and your gut bacteria are a walking, talking mutualistic community. Mutualism isn't just small scale. It can involve larger animals too. Think about the relationship between certain birds, like oxpeckers in Africa, and large mammals like rhinos, buffalo, or giraffes. The oxpecker perches on the animal and feeds on ticks, flies, maggots, and other parasites crawling on the mammal's skin or hiding in its ears. This provides the oxpecker with a reliable food source. For the mammal, it's like having a personal grooming service, getting rid of irritating, blood-sucking pests and potentially disease-carrying parasites. It seems like a clear win-win. The bird gets fed, the mammal gets cleaned. However, scientists sometimes debate if it's purely mutualistic because oxpeckers have been observed sometimes picking at wounds or keeping them open to feed on blood, which isn't so helpful for the mammal. But generally, the pest removal is a significant benefit. Another classic example is the clownfish and the sea anemone. The clownfish lives protected among the anemone's venomous tentacles, which would sting and kill most other fish. The clownfish has a special mucus coating that makes it immune. This safe haven protects the clownfish from predators. In return, the clownfish defends the anemone from fish that might try to eat its tentacles, and it also provides nutrients through its waste products, which the anemone can absorb. It's a beautiful mutual dependence on the coral reef. Next up is commensalism. This is the one benefits, the other isn't really bothered relationship. It's like having a harmless roommate who eats your crumbs but doesn't pay rent. The key point is that one species gains an advantage, while the other species is neither significantly helped nor harmed. Finding pure commensalism can be tricky because it's often hard to prove absolutely no effect, but there are good examples. Think about barnacles that hitch a ride on a whale. The barnacle attaches itself firmly to the whale's skin. What does it gain? A mobile home. As the whale swims vast distances through nutrient-rich waters, the barnacle gets carried along to new feeding grounds without expending any energy itself. It simply extends its feathery legs, cirri, to filter plankton and other tiny food particles from the water flowing past. For the whale, a few barnacles generally don't cause any real harm. They don't suck blood, they don't cause significant drag, unless there are massive numbers, and they don't seem to cause infection. The whale isn't helped by their presence, but it isn't hurt either. It's mostly indifferent. The barnacle is a commensal, benefiting from the transportation and access to food, while its host goes about its business unaffected. Another common example of commensalism involves birds nesting in trees. A robin building its nest high up in the branches of an oak tree gains significant benefits: safety from ground predators, shelter from the elements, and a sturdy platform for raising its young. The oak tree, however, doesn't get any obvious benefit from the robin's nest being there. The robin isn't harming the tree, unless perhaps the nest is huge and breaks branches, but generally, it's fine, and it's not providing any service like pollination or pest control specifically for the tree in return for the space. The tree is simply providing a structure that the bird uses. Similarly, Epiphytic plants like many orchids and bromeliads that grow on the branches of tall trees in rainforests are often considered commensals. They use the tree trunk or branches purely for physical support and to reach sunlight high in the canopy. They don't take nutrients or water from the tree itself. They aren't parasitic. They get their moisture from rain and air and nutrients from decaying matter that collects around their roots. The tree isn't harmed by their presence, but it doesn't gain anything either. The epiphyte gets a prime sunny spot without having to grow a massive trunk itself. Now, we come to the darker side of symbiosis, parasitism. This is the win-lose scenario. One partner, the parasite, benefits by living on or inside the other partner, the host. The parasite gains essential resources, usually food and shelter, but in doing so, it harms the host. The harm can range from minor irritation and reduced fitness to severe disease, disfigurement, or even death. Parasitism is incredibly common. In fact, parasites likely outnumber free-living species. Think about a tick attaching to a dog. The tick burrows its mouth parts into the dog's skin and feeds on its blood. This blood meal provides the tick with the nutrients it needs to grow, molt, and reproduce. For the dog, it's harmful. The tick bite can cause itching, irritation, and local infection. More seriously, ticks can transmit dangerous diseases like Lyme disease or Rocky Mountain spotted fever to the dog, and humans too. The tick benefits at the dog's expense. Similarly, tapeworms living inside the intestines of humans or other animals are parasites. They attach to the intestinal wall and absorb nutrients directly from the digested food passing by. They steal nutrients meant for the host, often causing malnutrition, weight loss, weakness, and abdominal pain. The tapeworm gets a free meal and a safe place to live and reproduce, while the host suffers the consequences. Parasites can be incredibly sophisticated and specialized. Some, like the tick or the tapeworm, live on ectoparasites or inside endoparasites, their host for most of their lives. Others have complex life cycles involving multiple host species. For example, the parasite that causes malaria, Plasmodium, needs two hosts, humans and mosquitoes. When an infected mosquito bites a human, it injects the parasite into the human bloodstream. The parasite multiplies inside human liver cells and then red blood cells, causing the symptoms of malaria. When another mosquito bites that infected human, it sucks up some parasites along with the blood. The parasites then develop inside the mosquito, eventually moving to its salivary glands, ready to infect the next human it bites. The mosquito acts as a vector, transmitting the parasite between humans. The parasite benefits by reproducing in both hosts. The human host suffers from the debilitating disease malaria. The mosquito might also suffer some costs, like reduced lifespan or fertility, but generally, it still functions as the transmission vehicle. This complex cycle shows how deeply embedded parasitism can be in ecosystems. It's important to remember that these categories, mutualism, commensalism, parasitism, are useful tools, but nature loves shades of gray. Sometimes, a relationship can change depending on the circumstances. A classic example is the relationship between cleaner fish and their clients on coral reefs. Cleaner wrasses set up cleaning stations where larger fish come to have parasites and dead skin nibbled off. The cleaner gets a meal, the client gets groomed. Classic mutualism, right? But sometimes, the cleaner fish might get tempted and nibble on the client's healthy mucus or even a bit of flesh. Suddenly, the benefit for the client decreases, and it might even be slightly harmed. The relationship has shifted towards parasitism for that moment. Similarly, the bacteria that normally live harmlessly, commensally, on your skin can become problematic parasites if they enter a wound and cause an infection. Environmental conditions can also flip a relationship. A fungus living harmlessly on a plant might turn parasitic if the plant becomes stressed by drought, becoming more vulnerable and allowing the fungus to invade and cause disease. Why does symbiosis matter so much? Because it's absolutely fundamental to how life functions on Earth, far beyond being just a biological curiosity. Think about the oxygen you breathe. A huge portion comes from phytoplankton in the ocean and plants on land, both groups heavily reliant on mutualistic symbionts, zooxanthellae and related plankton, mycorrhizae for plants. The fertility of the soil that grows our food depends massively on decomposer communities, a complex symbiosis involving bacteria, fungi, insects, worms, breaking down dead matter and forming partnerships with plant roots, mycorrhizae. Your ability to digest food relies on your mutualistic gut bacteria. Coral reefs, vital marine ecosystems providing food, coastal protection, and biodiversity, literally exist because of the symbiosis between coral polyps and algae. Nitrogen, an essential element for all life, it's in proteins and DNA, is pulled from the air and made usable for plants largely through mutualistic bacteria, rhizobia, living in nodules on the roots of legumes like beans and peas. These bacteria fix atmospheric nitrogen into a form plants can absorb. The plants provide the bacteria with sugar. Without this symbiosis, many ecosystems would collapse and agriculture would be incredibly difficult. Symbiosis isn't an exception. It's a core strategy for survival and success woven into the very fabric of life. Understanding symbiosis also changes how we see ourselves and the world. We humans are not solitary organisms. We are complex ecosystems, walking communities of trillions of microbes, bacteria, fungi, viruses, living on our skin, in our mouths, and overwhelmingly in our guts. This human microbiome is largely mutualistic, playing critical roles in our digestion, immunity, and even mental health. Disrupting this symbiosis through antibiotics, poor diet, excessive hygiene is linked to numerous modern diseases. Recognizing ourselves as holobionts, the host plus its microbial communities, is a profound shift in biology and medicine. It highlights our deep interconnectedness with the microbial world. Similarly, seeing the intricate web of symbiotic partnerships in nature, from the roots of a tree to the depths of the ocean, fosters a deeper appreciation for the complexity and interdependence of all living things. Nothing truly exists in isolation. The study of symbiosis is also driving exciting scientific discoveries and innovations. Researchers are exploring how the gut microbiome influences health, leading to new treatments like fecal transplants for stubborn infections. Understanding mycorrhizal networks is revolutionizing sustainable agriculture, showing how we can grow food with fewer chemical fertilizers by harnessing natural fungal partnerships. Investigating how corals and their algae cope or fail to cope with warming oceans is critical for coral reef conservation. Studying bacterial symbionts in insects is leading to new ways to control pests or prevent disease transmission without harsh chemicals. The intricate chemical communication and adaptations evolved in symbiotic relationships are a treasure trove for developing new medicines, materials, and technologies. By learning from nature's partnerships, we unlock powerful tools for a healthier future. Symbiosis, in all its diverse forms, from the mutually beneficial to the exploitative, is a cornerstone of biology. It reveals a fundamental truth: life is deeply interconnected. Organisms rarely evolve and exist in a vacuum. They constantly interact, forming relationships that shape their evolution, their survival, and the very structure of ecosystems. Whether it's the algae feeding the coral, the fungus feeding the tree, the bacteria digesting your lunch, the tick feeding on blood, or the barnacle catching a ride, these partnerships define the flow of energy and nutrients through the web of life. They showcase evolution's incredible creativity in finding solutions for survival, often through collaboration, sometimes through exploitation. Understanding symbiosis allows us to see the invisible threads connecting different species, appreciate the delicate balances within ecosystems, recognize our own place within nature's microbial networks, and harness the power of these relationships for healing and innovation. It's a testament to the fact that in the grand story of life on Earth, we truly are all in this together, bound by intricate, ancient, and endlessly fascinating partnerships. Thanks so much for exploring this incredible world of living together with me today. Wishing you health, happiness, and a newfound awe for the connections all around us. Take care, and I'll see you next time.